What up? It's your leader. Brother Gwen in the building. And you already know, we sound dope. So today, my gentleman crew, my lover crew, my beautiful people, I'm with a special guest. Tell the people who you is.
Ooh, ciao. Who is I? So the name is Keabetswe Zondi. I'm many things.
Yeah.
But I think for the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to be a storyteller. Yeah.
So they don't know how I met you, right? This is the first time they see you on the platform. So basically, I was at a event. I came to an event for public. What was this event? Was it for public relation, right?
Yeah, it was organized by. I can mention most because Keabetswe.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah,
we were both there.
It was organized by Career Guiders Without Borders. It was a interactive public relations session, and I was one of the guest speakers.
Type thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know you were one of the guest speakers. They told us we have to just mingle with anybody. Pause. We just had to network with anybody.
Do them elevator pitches.
And
you came straight to the front where I was sitting and you were like, let's go. My name is Gwena.
I'm shy, dude. I know I may look confident in the screens and stuff, but ultimately I'm a shy guy. Some people are laughing at me. They're like, that's cap. But I'm a shy guy. Until I was like, you know what? Let me push myself. Let me do something that I don't usually do in big places at the time. So
that's the only way to get where you're trying to go, I must say. Because I think you positioned yourself quite well. It was so interesting because as we're having a conversation, in fact, that whole event, I feel like that whole event was just divinely orchestrated. I swear to you, the day before, hours before I actually got the invitation to come, because one of the original speakers had actually dropped out, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was in the middle of groove. I was downing something. And I was like,
tell you, she looks so professional that day, bruh.
I have to. Even today, I had a little bit of wine in the morning. I'm like, I'm showing up. But yes, I got the invitation to pull through for a friend's friend. And I'm like, 100% I'm there. Anything that involves speaking, creatives, community, I'm there. And I was just like, God, you are with me, you know?
Facts.
Put your pen in my mouth and it'll happen. We had set up, the organization and the speakers and stuff, we had set up a whole particular schedule for how things would go. But when one of the speakers was actually speaking, I remember how she looked at her papers and she's like, this is not the vibes for today. And then we just opened the floor.
What?
And
that's why it took forever.
Bro. God takes his time.
Let me change that. So basically now, let me change the DP. It's gonna take a second. It's 5 seconds.
It's all good.
So tell them what's going on, what's happening. They know I'm outside.
Cool. So yeah, just from that moment, to finish up the introduction, we ended up having, so I was invited to speak as a part of the panel discussion, but we ended up having a community room-wide panel discussion where all the voices in the space were being heard, and Gwena's was one of them. And because it was a PR event, we're speaking about PR crises and different scenarios, and we ended up having and deep diving really into conversations about branding and questions of authenticity versus strategy.
Heavy.
And then
I
felt pulled, that pen that got put in my mouth finally started writing, and I said, I need to share my story. And I started speaking about one of the moments in which I chose to move authentically instead of strategically in speaking about I want to be careful with the words that I use because words are spells, but in speaking about an incident of violence that happened to me, and it was an influencer actually that was involved in the situation. And, all the real normal things happen. I got the letter of, Barring, you must go to court, you must shut up. And I did not shut up because pen in the mouth was moving. And it was such an interesting situation. So I ended up trending from naming this particular person. And there was a storm. First time, I was one of the quiet voices. It was 2019.
Are we going to say it in a non-explicit way, or we're gonna say what it is or because like I know these things of court, and she said wada, and like this can be like a whole video evidence, yeah, So are we gonna say what it is, this violence thing, or we just keep it at violence?
I'm gonna use the word violence. I don't need to divulge too many details because it's a story I'm past.
Okay.
But
because they don't know anything.
They don't know anything. That's cool. You know what you need to know.
You know what you need to know.
Yeah. But I don't mind you using details, you know, like to speak your truth and I'll speak mine, and like our truths will merge and meet somewhere type thing. But yeah, I don't really care about the courts and all those things. I'll be very honest with you, which is I think the point of all of this. Like the first time I came out and I said this person's name, it was 2019. It's Me Too movement. It's, you know, we're naming our rapists and all those things. The list was infamous on Twitter, and I named the name, and I was a very quiet, like it was a muffled sound, and I got a lot of like hate messages and stuff from that, but I was like, no, it's fine. It didn't really gain a lot of traction.
Hate messages as in like in the sense of, are you doing this for publicity? Or is it hate messages? Oh, you know, that's wrong. What? Or what type of? Because like, how would you be hated for something that happened towards you? Do you get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying, and the answer is simple. It's projection. People don't like when you are existing, once again, the word is authentically. You're existing so authentically with yourself. What that does is it triggers the parts that are inauthentic in other people. And so this influencer that was loved by however many followers this person had, I've never watched the video, never seen anything. So
he was popular at the time. He was
popular. This nigga had money.
This guy was popping.
This nigga was in Joburg. Why did I get like police coming to my door from Cape Town next day? And I'm like, first of all, can you find my father? Yeah. You know, if that's the speed with which the law enforcement can move.
Yo, I could just imagine the drama.
Bro.
Open up, FBI.
Yeah. But I took my time, child. You know, as I always do. And so those are the kinds of messages like, oh, you're just doing this for attention, or you're just jealous because this person left you and moved on to something. But when I say to you, I had no idea this person was even famous on particular platforms, because I have my own life and I live it well. So, but yeah, because of his name, things gained traction. And then after that, that's when God started moving. God made that little muffled voice of mine a megaphone. I ended up having a conversation with his girlfriend at the time, because they were a celebrity couple. So she reached out to me privately on like Messenger or some shit. Anyway. And
we had doubts. What is gonna happen?
What's gonna happen? You did say like keeping it real, keeping it as it is, authentic.
The other podcaster who came was like very explicit, and I told him, "Come as you are."
Come as you are, like Jesus does. Tell us. But yes, I had a real conversation with his girlfriend via text, and she was essentially asking me, woman to woman, like, why haven't you come forth sooner? Because I had also used to date this man, and the event itself, or the series of events, the violence happened like a couple years before. But the year of 2019 was a year of the reckoning for me, like on a personal and I think public level. Like it was the year of R. Kelly and Me Too, and there were so many things moving, and the year of Uyinene as well, actually. So that also like personally,
like it pushed you to even like, no matter, I can also say what I needed to say.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not like a byproduct or a victim of whatever he created me to be.
No, I'm never a victim of circumstance. I'm a survivor of the situations that are happening. And a lot of the times, the things that are happening in the world, I feel we are part and parcel of. There's a whole process, there's a collective. I'm also very spiritual, so I believe in like energy shifts among all of us, you know, and there's seasons for everything. But yeah, so that conversation I had with the girlfriend, I ended up screenshotting. It was a very vulnerable, beautiful, authentic space that we shared. And I essentially said to her a lot of things, but storyteller, I love words. But in hindsight, I was just essentially saying, like, I don't hate that man. I don't feel anything towards him except like what I feel is a responsibility towards my healing. So I'm simply just telling my story in my time. And it was love and light exchange between us. And then I posted those screenshots one day on Twitter, and that went viral. So the conversation I was having between my rapist girlfriend at the time and myself is the thing that authenticity is the thing that people ended up seeing, and the vulnerability on both of our parts, actually. And through that, they understood that, once again, I was not a victim of circumstance, but a survivor of a situation. And I think my story spoke more for me than strategy ever could. And I got a justice I could never get throughout the system because it went viral. He was trending on TikTok. His social media platforms immediately got taken down, YouTube and stuff. The girlfriend broke up with him. I was still saying his name. I never went to jail, even though I was supposed to, apparently. There was a lot that happened and shifted and moved. And I even, because I had opened a rape case against him, but I even withdrew it at some points because I was like, no, man, like, my ancestors will avenge. And also, like, it's enough. Like, I'm beyond. What I wanted to do was honor my story, honor my truth, and I did. And I don't need... The justice for me was in the recognition of the truth of what happened. I don't need someone necessarily behind bars for my truth to stand. So that was it.
And the truth was the truth, as in, like, because they know that people might say, no, this person... Because I know, right, there's people, like women who see these, like, figures or people bananing chale there, you know, as a way or a ticket to financial freedom by threatening them through that type of agenda of saying, no, this person did this to me for the sake of trying to benefit from them, you know? Because I know those type of stories are there. Hence why, like, there's a lot of men now these days, they're not even approaching women anymore.
Good.
She's like, good.
I'm saying good.
She's like, tech.
Tech, Bobby.
Oh, it's crazy. Not Bobby.
Men are. No, I'm joking. We're all human beings.
Yeah. But, like, a lot of the things can even stem to male suicide on innocent men, you know? And do you think then we should at least have a, how can I say this? A platform for that. Do you know what I mean?
The platform is the world. Like, the platform is everywhere and anywhere. I never thought I would get justice through the streets of Twitter because they're the ones that deplatformed him. I didn't ask for anything. People decided in their hearts what to do about the situation, right? And that's a very interesting question and conversation that we ended up, like, having widespread there at that day, that divinely aligned day. And my question to that, or my answer to that question of, like, but there are cases of false accusations and stuff. I'm not going to take a neutral approach and be like, there is and there isn't. Everybody has a truth. Literally, everybody has a truth. And I don't think it's on anyone's right or terms to mediate and also negotiate the truth of another person. I know what happened to me, right? That person also had the rapist in question had a very particular experience of me where they did not understand. I swear to God, they did not understand what they did as wrong. It was very interesting. Like, after the that Twitter moment and stuff, there were actually a couple women that came forward as well and said the same sequence of events happened to me too.
And the same person?
Yes. But the way...
Like, who's this, brah? Like, dude, I need to do research.
But here is where it gets tricky. The way my story happened, it wasn't stranger danger, back streets, I'm being grabbed and then stabbed 27 times or something. It was a moment of taking a chance in a vulnerable moment in space. I was with this person. I knew this person. Like, we dated for, I think, 1.5-ish years. I knew him for like 5 years. We were together for a while. Like, I knew this person as much as of them that they also knew. And that's the other thing I want to say. Like, the projection part. I believe they're narcissists, in the words of Western psychology. Give me another letter, nigga. And narcissists have such a very interesting experience of the world in that whatever inner wound, I also study psychology, by the way, whatever inner wound child they have is so, like, it's a wound of neglect, and it's a wound of like being invisibilized and not being seen and stuff. And so they create a world and an identity around themselves that is so superficial and fabricated, but it's the only thing they've ever known. They're very charismatic people. They're very cool people. They're people that people are very like drawn to and stuff, but they don't know that they are actually controlling those situations, because at the end of the day, they want to be cherished, respected, celebrated and stuff. But inside, they feel ashamed, but they can't actually access their shame. They can't tap into it, you know? So narcissism is such an interesting...
What is this shame, though? Like, where does this shame, like, originate? Because I believe these people, that they have charisma. They're the cool guy. Everyone likes this. The likes are up, you know? Where does it come from, this shame? Because wouldn't someone be, like, so up there, you know, to say, I'm that guy, or... You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's interesting. I think in the case of textbook narcissism, shame comes from child-parent interactions.
Okay.
So like when your parents do not affirm and fulfill that sense of self for you enough, you create a character that is lovable, but you're not very loving. It's a play, it's a game. And I think where shame is inherited in general, like later on in life, because also we're also living in a very narcissistic culture. Narcissism is spectrum. Also, when I say things are, I will not use the word, I'm very careful with my language, because words are spells. I'll not say things like personality disorder. I'll say things like personality adaptations, adaptive behaviors or something like that, because we're all trying to survive in some way, shape, or form, and we all have different psyches that facilitate that survival. But the rest of us, where shame is inherited, is from other people, right? With a child, it's from the parents, but for the rest of us, it's from other people. It's like, it's as classic as abantu bazothini. You know what I'm saying? If I speak out about my story, people are gonna think, oh, I'm trying to get money from this person or take advantage or whatever. And that chat is so interesting to me, because the women that name and shame end up being the ones being named and shamed. How often do you remember the names of the actual perpetrators versus the victims? The victims are voiceless, are silenced, and often lose a lot. If we're going back to R. Kelly, he's in jail, isn't he? I don't know. I don't think he... Right? Even this one really pissed me off. Ronaldo, that one, number 7. 2017.
It's also part of these things.
2019, yes. Bonke. Yeah. And there was a girlie, don't remember her name and stuff. She brought a case forward. Miguel was there. There were so many cases. And when it's like there's so many manifestations and instances of a thing, how many times are we going to say, oh no, let's leave room for the exceptions? It's not an exception. It's a sickness. And it's a norm in society that we are accepting and that we are sedating if we continue to want to look for those platforms outside of the world. If you know you didn't harm a person, if you know that you move through life with as much integrity and authenticity that you have towards yourself, then what do you ever have to be afraid of? Another person's truth can't do anything to shake you, you know? So, yeah, sometimes our truths are not congruent, you know? He makes sense to a lot of people who are vibrating at the same level as he is, who have the same experiences that he is, that have not met themselves as deeply as I have, as he has, or whatever, or as differently. It doesn't always have to be a thing of hierarchy, but just
heavy. That's heavy.
Expands. I don't know. You can continue. I went on a tangent.
Yo, my UE family, if you are currently enjoying and loving the content so far, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe one time, because that gives us motivation to push out more content such as these. Now back to the video. It's calm. So then the platform is basically just to voice yourself. That is very interesting, because I know there's some people who, you know, go through this, and some of them have even been quote unquote molested, can be from a close person, a friend, even a family member. You know, it can be someone from the street, or can even be like a girl raping a guy.
Yes,
that happens.
That does exist.
It's wild. Personally, I don't want to lie. I don't know. I was about to say something illegal there. Like, I don't want to lie. Personally, I don't get like a lot of bums, but
me neither.
but anyway, I'm trying to say that thing is real, you know. And who do you talk to? Who do you voice out to? You know, especially when it's something that's been hurting you for like a long time. How do you sleep? You know, without that being said, at least knowing that the world knows that this person did this. You know, how do you sleep? And I just saw recently a video on YouTube. A guy, he was a model, right? He also got raped and everything. And he actually was crying on YouTube like, this thing, guys, you don't even know who to, because as a guy even, you can't just say it because it makes you look weak. And the masculine frame.
Abantu bazotini. You see, creating your own cell.
Heavy. So now, the freedom, the gate to that freedom is hard to maneuver around that.
Yes.
You know?
And I appreciate you saying gate, and then also asking a very important question: who do you talk to? Because there's a cost with everything in this life. There's a cost with not telling your truth, which is that you cement those gates and those cells around you. And then there's a cost to also telling the truth, which is that everything crumbles and you're moving through the world feeling very unsafe and also very unstructured. And also you don't know who's plotting against you in this life and the next, and also who's fighting for you. Like, it's very destabilizing to only ever speak without discernment. So I was in a fortunate position whereby, like, I walk with my God and my God walks with me, and my ancestors and everything. Like, I know that my steps are divinely guided and protected. And so I had people fighting for me on the other side. It's a situation that I prayed for. I even went to a sangoma, guys. It was such a funny story, but moving on. Let me not just give you all my secrets.
But shout out, like, I want to lie, your English is free flowing.
Yeah.
It's very free flowing. Shout out to your English. Like,
thank you. I did some. I alchemized.
You read books.
I do read books. I study. I do a Bachelor of Social Science at UCT.
She reads books.
Yeah. Psychology major, English literature, and I basically just alchemized what the British gave us, because it's not all bad if you can turn it into something good. But I think I was saying that there were people fighting for me also here. Like, I had a partner, for example, who would read the tweets so that I didn't have to be re-triggered and traumatized and exposed to that violence
all over again and
yes.
again. Yeah.
I made the decision, for example, to not pursue the case further at the police because my investigating officer was a bitch. I'm looking at her.
Oh, it's a her.
Even worse. She fully looked at me and said, "You don't look like somebody that was raped."
Yeah.
Secondary traumatization is a real thing.
How do you look like a rape victim? Is there a certain eyeshadow? That's crazy.
That is so crazy.
That is crazy.
People see in you what they see in themselves. So for them, if they've decided that this is what something is and is not, they project that, not my problem. I know my truth. So there are things I had to do to ensure my safety after having spoken. Yeah. I think I do this thing when it comes to like speaking my truth, that I really sit with it. I'm like, is this something I need to say now? And almost everything I do is like intuitive, and the how I say it, like the flowing, it's natural, it's a talent, it's a gift, it's a blessing, but like that's for God and me to figure out as it happens, So do not do not just speak without discernment, because then you can also make it more difficult for the forces in the other realm fighting for you. But they will fight for you. They will protect you. It takes a lot longer. Find a practice that works for you. Find people that feel safe. Find people that feel safe, and you will feel safety first and foremost in your body, you know, in resonance. When somebody speaks, when I met you, there was resonance. That's why we're here today. Divine, right? When somebody speaks, do you catch onto something that they say? Does it sit and stick with you? Like, you know, those are your little intuitive nudges. Those are the little steps that God is putting in your path to walk towards like your healing. And not everybody's gonna speak with my mouth, you know. I'm blessed with a mouth, but other people will podcast, other people will write, other people will dance. As long as you're doing something to alchemize the pain in your body, to turn the bad into something good, you're doing the work.
And you've done that. You've done that, clearly.
Hey, dog.
But the motion now is like, okay, you know, I'm more calm, I'm more safe. You now had to look at your identity, right, and say, okay, this happened to me. Did this change your identity on men? Do you view men in a more something's happening here, or is it that thing of saying, I out? I'd rather just go to now women, or did you go to that sphere, or how do you? Now your identity now, where's your identity? Do you place your identity in anything now? Or you just like, you know, you're living?
I place it in God, and God places it back in me. But that's an interesting question, actually, because that's one of the comments that would come up as people were trying to make sense of my situation. Because obviously I was with a man, he's a man. But I was engaged to a woman at the time who ended up becoming my wife. Future ex-wife now. It's very funny, but yeah, it's one of the things. Oh no, bashimane bam robile na orata banyan or something. And like, it was always such a very interesting comment, because it feels like attraction to men is something that is considered norm, and anything that is not attracted to men and that is not reinforcing whatever superiority complex masculinity has in this world,
thanks,
is needs to be explained.
Masculinity needs to be explained.
Yeah, like anything that deviates from the masculine, and masculinity is an energy in all of us, by the way. So as well as femininity and all of that. So I think that's an interesting question. So I'm going to ask you a question, like, why are you asking that? What does that question mean to you in terms of your experiences and all of that?
Because like, I know, like, when, you know, you had a rough upbringing with a certain type of sexuality, it can make you shift your mind into going into a different type of safe zone, where that safe zone would be a different sexuality experience. So that's why I'm thinking now that safe zone has been obviously broken by the certain individual. So now your safe zone now would be, I don't know, should it be women or should it be men that act like women? Or, you know what I mean? It can't go to those, or just not him.
That's so real.
You know?
Sorry. So, yeah, not him is my sexuality.
I feel that.
That is a beautiful question, and I'm gonna tie it to one of the things I wanted to share today, which also connects with the quotes I've picked up there, which is about like the messiness of the magic and the messiness of attraction and of consent, and that so like I subscribe to like, I don't know, like a more free-flowing, innovative way of thinking, of looking at something, looking at a box, not just as a thing with like 8 sides, but as a prism. And like, depending on how you move it, you see different angles and perspectives. So it's not to invalidate any one truth, but to incorporate many at once. And questions around consent for me have moved from being a box to a prism. When I was in that state with this person, this man, I really needed to know the hard lines of consent. Like if I did not say enthusiastic yes, if I like, because the situation was so blurry and murky, you know, for example, like we're in a partnership and all, so I'm obviously sharing an intimate moment with my partner, but I've expressed that I don't want that particular thing to happen, but it happens not on my account but theirs, and then they justify it and say, but like the first time always hurts, or you'll be fine, or something. Like, so there were ways that not just the event itself, but the way that he reacted to the event and the gaslighting around my truth in order to only validate and accommodate and affirm his, is what made the violence so violent as well. But I had another interesting experience in terms of moving that box from a box to a prism, where I had a tricky, murky sexual encounter with a woman, actually, where the consent was very, we don't know. We don't know if anybody said yes, if anybody said no, but something happened or didn't happen. It's very murky. There was substances and stuff, which, you know, makes things harder to give those enthusiastic yeses stuff. There was attraction, I do think, on both parts and all of those things, but the attraction versus but were inebriated, and that little dance is like, so can we both consent? We don't know if we both consent, but we both did or didn't. And it was mostly just like the fact that, like, the weirdness of the next day, we sat and we had a conversation together, and I shared my perspective, they shared theirs, and then they were like, you know, I'm so sorry, like, if I've hurt you. And I was like, I'm also so sorry if I've hurt you. And that and there, for me, was an energetic release, and the healing happened almost immediately.
It was like beautiful.
It was
like,
beautiful.
This was actually what I wanted from Njita.
It was beautiful.
Like, he was just pressuring too hard on something that I really wasn't comfortable at the time.
And I think, once again, that's where, like, if you sit with your authenticity, your truth, like, you'll find how much further it takes you, you know, because you're connecting with the human in people. And the human in people houses a God in them. We become monsters when we refuse to recognize how much harm we're actually capable of, more than anything. Not because some of us are born monsters. We become them.
I have a question now, nah? Kap, you know the whole PDD thing, right? So now I was speaking with Jaden on this, and he was like, why do you think Diddy even did that? Why did he even do that?
Why does the why matter?
No, because
yeah,
he has money, so he doesn't need to do that. He has fame, he doesn't need to do that. He's not unattractive. I can't say much from
it's a
there.
man. I'm joking.
You know what I mean? But I can see definitely if he has this aesthetic, he can't be unattractive. Like, there has to be women out there lining up for this guy.
No. No one's lining up for anyone.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Diddy's like ugly.
No, I'm not saying he's ugly. He is whatever he is. God bless him.
Yeah, that's
God
what
bless
they say.
everyone.
Ugly. He is.
I don't even remember what he looks like. Bro,
I don't even remember what you look like.
I stay off the news. I choose my peace, child. But these assumptions that there's women lining up for him. See, once again, we're centering the masculine.
Yeah.
As this thing, this attainable, desirable thing.
Yeah.
And everyone will naturally gravitate towards that and fulfill it and affirm it. That's patriarchy.
Okay.
No one's lining up for everybody. Everyone is aligned in their own paths, in their own ways. Because now it's that viewpoint and that worldview that says now, okay, when a woman says, I had an encounter with this person and this thing happened, we're thinking, oh, it happened because you wanted money. Because we're starting with the viewpoint of this person has it all. So the only other thing, whenever there's something going wrong in their life, is because someone's trying to take something from them. Yes, sit with that.
I see where you're from.
We've all got something.
So then why?
Why? We've all got something, but we're all, like, as abundant as we are, we also have wounds.
Welcome back from the commercial. It was a tight one. So today is a sponsor, as you can see. It's not sponsored, but this switch over here, I need it because I need to submit today. And there is also this lovely book. What book is this again?
It's called Miracles by C.S. Lewis. He is like me, I guess. No, that's Carl Jung. Anyway, I just found it the other day in my house. It belonged to another housemate. I was like, I want to read about like miracle. It was aligned, and so I just felt like taking it with me today. I like to wear outfits as well that are very like aligned, so I felt like that's what it's going to be. Today is also a day of miracles, guys. 11/11.
11/11.
Manifest. What do you want for your 2020?
Now they're going to know how long it takes for me to update and edit videos.
I'm so sorry.
11/11. They know now. They know now. My video, you didn't post it out yet, and you had the audacity to have another video. That's crazy.
My bad.
But like, it's 11/11.
You can do like a chicken sound screaming or something over that.
Nah, it's fine. You can rest.
Tweets out now.
They can rest.
They can rest.
They can rest, bro.
But yeah, I think I was just getting to the point of saying that
it's going to.
In terms of what I believe, like God is everywhere and in everyone, and we become monstrous when we don't honor the capacity for harm that we have, you know. And as much as I'm also trained formally, like in my bachelor's and everything, I also did internships and just like also kind of informal working with like traditional psychology and stuff like that. I also believe that a lot in like our like traditional non-Western ways of being and relating, and like your body can also like heal itself. If you think about like when you get sick, like your first defense mechanism for sickness and pathogens are the cells in your body. You're coughing or whatever because it's trying to take it out of you. But we're only clocking, I am unwell, so I'm gonna like digest a pill or something and it's gonna do the work. Your body's already doing the work, you know, and you can use that to aid, make it quick and stuff. All I'm trying to say is that happens as well for us on an emotional and spiritual level as well. The things, once again, we find resonance with, how far we're willing to feel ourselves, how deep we're willing to go with ourselves, can also heal us as long as we are.
So would you say like meditation? Meditation? Does it work?
Meditation can be anything that like brings you peace. I don't even think it has to be like a specific practice. It has to be your practice. I dance, right? And I like to say I do movement meditation. So when I'm dancing, I could be putting on like, you know, Beyonce.
So that's your fun. Like when they say, what do you do for fun? You say Beyonce.
Yes.
You say camera.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah? I do record. I love to.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I know my sister, she loves to, I don't know half of the things she does, but it's Beyonce. And a lot of the girls who like Beyonce are like up there. Apparently.
I love how he's always saying things like it's not his own thoughts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's apparent.
You just have the mic. You're just a messenger.
Listen, you know what? There's a line from Nasty C. He says, attracted, what? Beyonce, something like that. Oh, please don't do this to me. Lyrics. But like, he says something like that on the lines of, always attracted to Beyonce's. Every girl that I had is always... It's always something with Beyonce.
I get it.
I need that.
I get it.
I need that quote, but yeah.
It's the Virgo in us. The Virgo energy. Like
he's Aquarius though.
I'm Virgo. Sun, Aquarius rising.
So you September.
Yaris.
You're addicted to information.
Fully. It gets too much sometimes. That's why I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I choose my truths. But yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I just want to end basically the podcast on some. Hey, if you guys really like Zondi, Miss Zondi over here, should I say like the whole thing? Keabetswe Zondi.
Say whatever you feel like saying, child.
Zondi.
You can say Ma Zondi though. Or Miss Zondi. Or anything. But Zondi sounds cool.
Zondi is like it's so catchy. It's Zondi. Now I have
Zondi.
to have like honorifics. Now it's like, yo, you should give me stress, you know?
It's not even like honorifics. I just think it's cool. Ma Zondi.
Yeah.
It's the most Zulu I ever get.
Oh.
Yeah.
So in Zondi, we're going to watch you soon. We're going to see the next things that you do. Where do you keep like your things updated? Your where's your socials?
My Instagram.
Your Instagram. No TikTok. No Twitter.
No Twitter. After that thing, yo guys,
After
new
that
era.
thing's crazy.
Like, thank
Yeah.
you for the 10K followers and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not active no more. I have other things I'm doing.
So you're not gonna post this on Twitter? You can just post it, Mos.
That's an idea, actually, and then delete the account after that.
Nigga, no.
We'll post it on YouTube, and whoever sees it sees
whoever
it.
sees it
But
sees it,
Instagram is definitely where it's
Yeah.
happening, where the community is being built.
Yeah.
Where I exist in my daily life, if you like watching my movements. And then if I really, 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 really know you and really, really like you, maybe I'll give you my WhatsApp number.
Hey,
But
UCT is doing the most.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I can hear it.
Oh, LinkedIn. I should probably update my LinkedIn too. Eventually I'll get there. But Instagram.
Instagram.
Instagram
Let's start
is
with
home-based.
Instagram. So what is your name on Instagram?
Zondi. MA.ZONDI. And
That's dope.
yeah.
So what is your future looking like? Now that was the shadow, what is the potential?
Yeah, that was very aligned, guys. Yeah, that was cool.
I appreciate it.
What's the future? Bright. Bright.
My future is so bright.
That's it.
Yes.
What's your future looking like?
My future, I can't even see it because it's too bright. God had a handle on it.
Let's
Type
go.
shit.
That's what we say. That's what we do.
Yeah, but honestly, I can't say, but I can say what I think. So where I'm headed for my future per se is honestly just being in this podcast space, making sure people can voice out whatever they got to voice out, getting better at being a vocalist in this podcast where you can hear my voice in different type of ranges. That's all. So yeah, that's basically where I'm going. And yeah, that's it for me. Is there anything that you would love to bless? Any gift of blessings or vehicles that you want to give?
Love and light. Go forth with your God and prosper. That's all I gotta say.
That's all we gotta say. Thank you so much for watching Undiscovered Entertainment, my gentleman crew, my lover crew, my beautiful people.
Oh, this was fun. Thank you for having me. Oh, highlight of my day. Let me go drink some more wine.